got joy. Come on, put a smile on your face and put your hands together like this. The waters are rising, sing.
Though the waters are rising,
you're the rock where I'm standing.
You're the rock where I'm standing.
I don't have to
be afraid.
The source of my gladness.
Hey,
you are peace in this madness. I can't help but give you thanks, Lord. I can't help but give you thanks, yeah. I got joy, 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 'cause I got Jesus. I got joy down in my home. I got peace like a river.
I got peace like a river
rushing through my soul. I got Jesus. I got what?
So I got joy, 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 joy.
Hey.
I got joy, 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 joy.
Hey. Though the waters arise, you're the rock where I'm standing.
You're the rock where I'm standing.
So I don't have to be afraid.
I don't have to be afraid.
You're the source of my gladness. Hey, you are peace in this madness. I can't help but give you thanks. I can't help but give you thanks, Lord. I got joy. I got joy, joy, joy. 'Cause I got joy down in my home. I got peace like a river rushing through my soul. I got Jesus. I got what? So I got joy. Hey, hey, hey. I got joy. Break it down like this. Joy turns mourning to dance, sorrow to gladness. So glad I have this joy. Brings beauty from ashes. I have found the joy.
Turns mourning to dance,
sorrow
to gladness.
So glad I have this joy.
Brings beauty from ashes.
I have found the joy. Hey, turns mourning to dancing, sorrow to gladness. So glad I have this joy. Brings beauty from ashes. I have found the joy. Hey, turns mourning to dancing, sorrow to gladness. So glad I have this joy. I got joy, 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 'cause I got Jesus. I got joy down in my bones. I got peace like a river. It's rushing through my. Hey, I got Jesus. So I got joy, 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 Y'all remember this? Y'all remember this? It says, joy, joy, God's great joy, 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 drown in my soul, sweet, beautiful, soul-saving joy, oh, joy, joy in my soul. You say, bring it back, say joy, 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 God's great joy, singing joy, joy, down in my oh sweet, yeah, soul saving, say, oh joy, joy in my oh joy, hey, oh joy, come on, put your hands together, help us, oh joy. We're turning into a choir right here. See, my master's joy.
My master's joy.
Yeah, my Savior's joy.
My Savior's joy.
Hey, come on, say, lily of the valley.
The lily of the valley joy.
Yeah, I say, in the midnight hour.
In the midnight hour joy.
He gives me strength and power.
He gives me strength and power joy.
Come on, y'all remember he said this? No food on the table.
No food on the table, joy.
Hey, I know that he is able.
I know that he is able, joy.
He said when you can't find the words to say, you say this. Hey, 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 joy.
Hey, 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 joy.
Yeah. Come on. You're right there. Say, hey, 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 joy.
Hey, 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 joy.
Can we take it home right now? Say, oh, joy.
Oh, joy.
Joy
Joy
in my soul.
Oh, you are the risen King.
Come on, if you're glad he lives, give the Lord some praise this morning. I want to call your attention to 1 Corinthians chapter 16. 1 Corinthians chapter 16. I want to look at verse number 8 and verse number 9. 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 8 and verse number 9 is where we want to look on today. I want to welcome all our visitors once again who came in after we formally greeted our visitors. I want to welcome you to our worship service. I want to re-invite you to come back and worship with us again. Bring a family member, bring a friend, bring a co-worker if you enjoy this worship service and you're blessed by the word to come and share with us anytime the Lord leads you this way. All right, 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 8. If you got it, shout, I got it. Here's what the word of the Lord reads there. I'm just going to read 2 verses. The Bible reads, but I will remain in Ephesus until Pentecost. For a great and effective door, watch this, has opened to me. And there are many adversaries. Again, verse number 9, for a great and effective door has opened to me, and there are many adversaries. Today I want to talk about when God opens a door. You may take your seat in the presence of God. When God opens a door. Brothers and sisters, anytime you watch TV or you find yourself scrolling on your social media, you will notice that you are bombarded by a lot of advertisement. Anytime you're watching your favorite TV apps, your Hulu, your Netflix, well, if you got the cheap version of Netflix, you'll find that you are advertised with a lot of different, I ain't judging you, I'm just saying. A lot of that, you got the cheap one too. A lot of different advertisements. Other many things that are advertised to us, one of the things that is advertised to us a lot is the idea of comfort. If you live through any idea of chaos or if you've gone through any type of storms, you know the value of comfort. They are always advertising to us vacations or some other type of exotic luxury, a way of resting and relaxing. Comfort is always advertised to us because not everybody wants a fast car. Not everybody wants a big house. Not everybody wants expensive things, but everybody wants to be comfortable. I don't know anybody who does not want to be comfortable. Brothers and sisters, if you value comfort, you know that comfort can be a blessing from God. But here's the thing that I want you to understand about comfort. I want you to understand this irony about comfort, and that is this: as desiring as comfort is, comfort can be dangerous. Comfort can be a blessing, but comfort can also be dangerous. Because though being comfortable is a luxury, if you become too addicted to it, comfort can become a liability. You see, comfort is a beautiful thing until comfort contaminates your mind into believing that the place you are is where you are supposed to be because you're comfortable in that place. Do you hear me today? I said that comfort can be a blessing, but it can be dangerous because it can contaminate your mind into believing that where you are is where you're supposed to be because you're comfortable in that place. Comfort is a beautiful thing until it makes you allergic to making adjustments. And all of a sudden, before you know it, the same place you prayed for is the same place that becomes a prison, incarcerating your dreams and incarcerating your vision and incarcerating your potential, all because you got comfortable. It reminds me of Deuteronomy chapter 1. If you read there, you'll find where Moses retells the event of God leading them from Mount Sinai into the promised land. In Deuteronomy chapter 1, Moses lets us know that after they had been at this mountain called Mount Sinai, this is the place that God led the children of Israel after they had come out of Egyptian slavery. After 2 months of crossing the Red Sea, God leads them to this mountain where they get set up at this mountain and they begin to experience God at this mountain. It is from this mountain that Moses gets the 10 Commandments, and it is from this mountain where they got a chance to experience God in life-changing ways. But Moses lets us know that after almost 2 years of being at that mountain, of being encamped at that mountain, that God comes to them and God says, "You've been at this mountain long enough," implying that they needed to get out of their comfort zone at Mount Sinai, because even though this was the place where they experienced God in life-changing ways, this wasn't the place that God promised to them. I need you to hear that today, because this is exactly where we are as a church right now. Almost 2 years ago, brothers and sisters, I prayed for God to give us a place where One Accord Church could be established. Almost 2 years ago, I prayed for God to give us a place where we could grow as a ministry, a place where God could reveal himself to us, a place where we could be a blessing to the community. And God answered our prayers in less than 60 days, and he opened the door, and he led us right here to this school. He led us right here to Larkspur. And ever since we've been here, y'all, God has been faithful. Ever since we've been here, souls have been saved. Many people have been baptized, and people have experienced God in a new and life-changing ways. Since we've been here, we have expanded and we have grown in so many different ways. But what I want you to understand is that now the same God that settled us is now the same God that's shifting us. Look at your neighbor and tell him, God is shifting us. He's shifting us. God is reminding us, y'all, in real time that this is not the place for us to get comfortable, because God is still opening doors. Look at your neighbor and tell him, God still is opening doors. God is showing us in real time, don't get comfortable here at Larkspur, because this is just the first door that I opened for you, but there are some more doors that are yet to come. And what I want you to understand is that as exciting as this is, God opening doors can be as unsettling as it is exciting, because sometimes God opens doors in ways that it interrupts your comfort zone. And sometimes God opens doors in ways that causes you to move in a direction that you had no plan of moving in. And sometimes God will open a door and it doesn't agree with your timeline, and it doesn't agree with your calendar, and it doesn't agree with what's on your agenda. But that's just how open doors work when you're working with God, y'all. They don't always line up with what you want, but they always line up with what's in God's will. And we must become mature enough to realize that whenever God opens doors for us, that he's not asking us to understand it. No, what he's asking us to just trust him enough to walk through the door. Y'all here today. You got to trust God enough to walk through the door that God is opening for you in your life, because God's open doors are nothing but an invitation for you to make a shift. And when God starts shifting you, God is not changing your calling. No, when God is shifting you, God is just expanding your assignment. And that's what I need somebody in here to understand. Why are we opening door? Why are we walking through the door? Because God is not changing our assignment. He's not changing our calling. God is expanding our assignment. And the question today is, how will we respond to the door that God is opening for us? Will we choose to be comfortable, or will we choose to be obedient? Look at somebody and ask them, are you going to be comfortable, or do you want to be obedient? God leads us to this text today because Paul helps us. With this in the text today. He shares in 1 Corinthians chapter 16, he shares his travel plans with the Corinthian church. Paul had plans to travel to Corinth. The people in Corinth, they really wanted to see Paul. They wanted Paul to get on a boat, and they wanted Paul to come to Corinth because they wanted Paul to teach them. They wanted Paul to give them more of the word. They wanted Paul to give them more of the gospel. They wanted Paul to offer some structure for the new Christian church that they had just built. And Paul shares with them his travel plans, and he lets them know, he writes this letter from Ephesus. He lets them know that I plan to come to see y'all, but I can't come when I thought I was going to be able to come. He says, my plans have changed a little bit. I got to stay here in Ephesus a little bit longer. I can't come when I thought I was going to come, but I got to stay here a little bit longer. And Paul offers an explanation for why he can't come when he originally planned to come. Here's what he says. He said, the reason, y'all, I can't come is because God has opened a door to me. He says, I can't come because there's an open door that God has given me. There is an opportunity for ministry here in Ephesus, and I can't come when I thought I was going to be able to come. And one of the implications that Paul makes with this is that Paul is letting us know that his desire, nor do the desires of other people determine the direction of his life or determine the direction of his ministry. He says, no, what determines the direction of my life, what determines the direction of my ministry are the doors that God opens for me. And I want to look at this text today, brothers and sisters, because I want to encourage us about how we should respond and what should our mindset be when God opens a door for us. Here it is. The thing I want you to put your mind around is that when God opens a door for us, I ain't got but one point. When God opens a door for us, here it is, you need to see God in it. Yeah, when God opens a door for us, look at this, you need to recognize that our doors, our open doors, it's a God thing. Look at somebody and tell them it's a God thing. It's a God thing. Look. One thing that I want you to notice about this text is that when Paul talks about this open door, Paul never says anything about God. When you look at this text, he never even mentions God. When he talks about this open door, he says nothing about God. But everything he says lets us know that he sees God in the open door. He doesn't say anything specifically about God, but what he says lets us know that he sees God in it. Look at what he says. He says, a great and effective door has opened. That church shout, has opened. He says a great and effective door has opened. And when Paul writes this phrase, has opened, he writes it in the Greek passive voice. And that's important that we know that, because when Paul writes this in his language, when he writes it, Pat, in the Greek passive voice, this is Paul's way of saying, I didn't open this door. When he writes it in the Greek passive voice, it's not in the active voice, which would indicate I had something to do with this. No, he writes it in the Greek passive voice, and that's Paul's way of saying in his language, I didn't open this door. door. Y'all, Paul is careful not to take credit for what he knows is something that he didn't do. But he admits by writing it in his language that he was in no way involved with this open door. So some of y'all ain't saying nothing right there, but this is where we often mess up with God. We get in trouble with God right here because some of us like to take credit for stuff that we didn't do, but God did it. Y'all ain't talking. We get in trouble with God because we like to plagiarize our open doors as if we were responsible for opening the doors ourselves. But I want you to know that whenever a door comes open in your life, don't mistake divine activity with your human capability, because your open doors have nothing to do with you. Look at somebody and say, it ain't got nothing to do with you. No, it has everything to do with the doorkeeper. It has everything to do with the doorkeeper of every door. And we have to be careful not to take credit when we know we ain't involved with the blessings of our lives. No, you got to give credit where credit is due. And the credit is not due to you, brother. The credit is not due to you, my sister. The credit is only due to God. Is there anybody in here that understands that every door that has been opened in your life, that you didn't open that door? No, God opened that door. This door was assigned by the doorkeeper, and Paul lets us know that God did it. And I wonder, is there anybody in here that got some open doors right now, and you can testify God opened the door to that business loan, God opened the door to that marriage, God opened the door to that healing, that promotion that I got, I didn't do that. That was a God thing. Who in here ain't got enough pride to take credit for what God has done and can sit here and testify, God did that? I'll say, I didn't open my door. This was a God thing. This wasn't a human thing. This was a God thing. And talking about this door, y'all, Paul also describes the magnitude of this door. He describes the size of this door. He not only lets us know I see God in it because I know I ain't do it. He said, but I see God in this because of the size of this door, the magnitude of this door. Listen what he says. He says, a great door has opened to me. Y'all, Paul wants us to know that this ain't no typical size door. This ain't no average door. This is not a common door that you see all the time. No, this is a great door. Let church shout a great door. He said that this is a great door. He uses metaphoric language to explain that this ain't no normal opportunity, but this is something that's big. This is a big moment. This is a big opportunity that I know had to come from God. The size of this door, y'all, teaches us something about God. And what it teaches us is that not only is God the doorkeeper of every door, it teaches us that God is also the designer of every door. That God is the one who determines the dimensions of your blessing. Y'all ain't talking to me that because you got to understand that, because there are some people, if it was left up to them, you would only have some small blessings. You would only have some regular blessings. You would only have those those common everyday blessings. Matter of fact, there are some people in your life that don't want you to be blessed at all. But Paul said this was a great door, which lets us know this ain't a man-made door, but this was a God-designed door. That this was a great door, and God wanted Paul to see how big this door was, because the size of this door was just a preview of the size of what Paul was getting ready to walk into. Because sometimes God will show you the size of the door so you can understand the size of your destiny. And like Paul, y'all, experienced in Ephesus, a big door has opened to us here in Virginia Beach, because God is trying to tell tell us that as a church, we are getting ready to go into something big. Some of y'all don't believe that, but this is a big door because God is trying to show us that we're about to go into something big. And I can't sit here and lie to you and tell you I know exactly what's coming, that I know exactly what God is getting ready to do, because I can't do that. But one thing I can tell you is that from looking at the dimensions of this blessing, from looking at the size of this door, from looking at the width of this door, God is getting ready to do something big with this church. Because when a big God opens big doors, that means he's about to do something big. Shake your neighbor's hand and say, I don't know what he's getting ready to do, but looking at the size of this door, God is getting ready to do something big in my life. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know it's about to be big. Can you give God praise for whatever big thing he's about to do in your life? Because a big God does big things. So some of y'all got some big doors right now. You got some big doors that you're looking at. God got something big in front of you. You got some big opportunities. You got some big jobs. You got some big deals. You got some big business ventures. There's a big season of faith. And some of y'all scared because you're looking at the size of your door and you're thinking, this is so big. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. But the size of your door, y'all, is the size of your destiny. It's a big door because God got big things planned for you. If you're looking at a big door on your job, God is just kissing you on the forehead to let you know I got something big for you. If you got something big in your family, that's just God hugging you to let you know how much he cares about you, that I'm about to do a big thing in your life. And you need to stop sitting there looking all sad and oogly and ugly because of where you are right now, because where you are is not where you're getting ready to be. God is getting ready to do something big. Somebody shout, do it, God, do it. Do a big thing in my life. Paul writes, he writes in the text that I can't come and see y'all right now. I know, yeah, he said, I got big things. I got big things coming. He said, I can't come and see y'all right now because a great door has opened. And I ain't have anything to do with this. I wasn't looking for this door. So I didn't have anything to do with this. I didn't plan this door. I didn't know how to find this door. All I know, that this door was just open to me. He says it's a great and effective door that has opened to me. He doesn't mention God's name because he says, I want you to know I didn't do this. He writes it in the passive voice because he wants it to be clear to the Corinthian church, this ain't got nothing to do with me. This ain't a me thing. It's a God thing. And then he says, I want you to see this. He gives us the size of this door because he's indicating that God wants to do something big with me. And I want y'all to know, church, that God wants to do something big with you. People thought I was crazy when I started this church. But they didn't know God wanted to do something big with us. People, they ain't said it to me. They ain't gonna never say it to me. But they think we crazy for starting a second location and second service. But they don't understand that God got big plans. God got some big things that he wants to do. And Paul indicates this by the way he writes this letter to the Corinthian church. And here's what I want you to know, that I saw something else in this text that I want to leave you with today, that not only does he write this phrase, has opened, in the Greek passive voice. When I broke down this Greek, he also writes it in the perfect verb tense, the perfect Greek verb tense. I like to study Greek. I like to study the original language that the Bible is written in because you get greater understanding. The Bible lets us know that Paul says it has opened. And when you study how he wrote in his language, he writes it in the Greek perfect verb form. And what that means is anytime a verb is written in the Greek perfect verb form, it means that we're talking about something that has been done in the past, but you can still see the results in the present. When he writes it in the Greek perfect verb form, he says that what I'm looking at is something God did in the past, but I can still see it right now. The Greek perfect verb describes a past action that still is having present results. Y'all ain't getting it. It describes something that happened way back then, but we can still benefit from it right now. But brothers and sisters, the door that Paul is talking about had already been opened in the past. But Paul is just now seeing it in the present. Can y'all follow me? It was already open, mama, in the past, but Paul lets us know I'm just seeing it right now. Paul didn't see it when it opened. When Paul saw it, it was already open. Paul didn't see it opening. When he saw it, it was already open. He says this was something that when I saw it, it was already done. Y'all ain't talking. And here's what Paul is trying to get us to see, that I don't want you to miss your shout part. Paul is trying to get us to see that if the door had been open in the past and yet it ain't closed right now, that means that whoever opened the door is the same person that's still keeping it open. Y'all ain't talking to me. So not only does Paul recognize God for opening the door, he also recognizes God for keeping it open. Y'all don't know when to shout. And I believe this is why the Bible says that God opens doors that no man can shut, because God not only opens doors, he keeps them open. And this is why you ain't got to worry about people hating on you. You ain't got to worry about people blocking your blessings. You ain't got to worry about people cutting you off, because when God opens a door, no matter how much folk don't like you, what God got for you, it is for you. When God opens a door, he gonna keep that door open until you get there to walk through it. Who am I talking to up in here? That's my shout part. If y'all can't shout, that God is the one that opens doors and God is the one that keeps them open. And that's our testimony right now, y'all, that this door we're getting ready to walk in next month, God didn't open that door last month. The door we walking through next month, God opened that door back in 2017. And 8 years, God was holding the door open for us to walk through it. And that's why we can see in the door his fingerprints all on the glass, because for 8 years, God's been using his hand to keep the door open. And the good news is that God ain't just holding doors open for the church. God is holding doors for you, and he's holding doors for you, and he's holding doors for you. There's some things that God got for you that he opened in 2019, that he opened for you in 2022, and in 2026 God is saying that I'm gonna keep it open until you get there to walk through it. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, God is opening doors for you, and he's holding doors for you. Doors you ain't even seen yet, doors you ain't even know to pray about, doors you didn't even think you was qualified for, doors that you don't even deserve, doors that you don't know you can open in, walk in. He's opening doors for you, doors that you don't even know you need right now. Yet God is holding the doors open, and you need to give God praise, not only for the doors he's opening, not only for the doors he's getting ready to open, but for the doors he's already open. And he's just holding it open until you get there, until you get your mind right, until you get your prayer life right, until you get your soul right. He's holding the door. You don't even deserve the the door. But when the time comes, God's going to let you know the reason I held this door is because it had your name on it. Shake somebody's hand and say, neighbor, there's some doors that's got your name on it. And God just holding it open until it's time, until it's time, until it's time. And when the time comes, God's going to say, walk through the door. I got big things in store. Somebody shout big things, big things. Stand to your feet. Stand to your feet. I don't have time to tell you everything about this open door. Y'all come back next week. I'll tell you some more stuff about this open door.